On this colorful street in Barrio Logan, you'll find a little sewing shop called Sew Loka. And once that roll-up door goes up, you never know what fashion designer Claudia Rodriguez Bezensky is up to. Today is a quiet day to create or recreate. You see, everything here is made out of fabric that was once something else, something she calls slow fashion.
This blanket is now trash because it has a hole. Like, how can we add like something cool so people could now be interested in it again?
Sustainable fashion is something we hear a lot about these days.
Coming from a family where it's like there was a lot of us, I'm one of 6 kids, it was really difficult for my mom to be able to like afford things. And so, she would take us to like the Forever 21 and she would be like, what do you like here? This. And then she's like, let's go home and make it. And you're like, I want it here though. We would go thrifting. I would buy jeans and cut them up and turn them into something else. And so really like the cultural part of like recycling has always been one of my things.
When she moved to San Diego, she just went for her dream. And Sew Loka, the brand, was born.
I've always kind of had like that really like punk rock like style and all that. And so everyone would always be like, you're so crazy, you're so crazy. And so when we decided to open up the business, we were like, we should call it Sew Loka. And my husband was like, oh my God, that's such a great idea.
She's built a brand making one-of-a-kind wearable art inspired by her rich cultural heritage and Chicano identity, a combination of Mexican and American.
People would kind of look at us a certain kind of way because we were speaking Spanish. I struggled with that a lot, When I went to Guadalajara to go see the ranch where my parents grew up, I was like, I'm Mexican. And my cousins are like, you're American. And I was like, what? And so like that sense of like not being able to belong.
And her bestseller combines the Catholic symbol she says was everywhere growing up in the San Fernando Valley and resonates with people like her.
Even though some people might not be religious, they still utilize the Virgencita as like a cultural image. And so for me, like putting like phrases across, like we have some that say like Morena, we have some that say brown AF, putting it like on a shirt. I want people to feel like, yes, I'm brown, and and I feel very proud of that.
She's become quite the entrepreneur and part of a collective that helps promote other female artists and businesses. She even hosts her own show.
Especially like being a woman and a brown woman, in business, like how could we uplift each other?
In October, Nike came calling.
This high school dropout is here at Nike. Gonna talk to a bunch of designers. So imagine how I feel. I'm gonna cry.
She says her life could have easily gone down the wrong path if she hadn't believed and worked hard to build her dream.
For me, sewing, I feel like it saved my life. Like I was a troubled youth. I was like headed into like the wrong direction, and it gave me self-worth because I could make things, and that made me feel special.
She can now proudly say that crazy Chicana punk rocker from the valley did good. She credits everyone from her abuelita, father, mother, brothers and sisters, but especially the community from Barrio Logan, a community that embraced her, who she compares to pieces of fabric, because much like her art,
you're basically able to sew things together and keep them like strong. And I think that that's community, right?
It takes a lot of people to become a large, colorful quilt. Kitty Alvarado, KPBS News.